Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难.
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思诗都还难。
It's just complicated so much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Nian Honglin. With me today, Georgia Massad online. Hello, Georgia.
Hello everyone, 大家好. It's always so great to be here.
It's always a pleasure having you here, especially for this topic actually, because I know you're a huge fan of Chinese culture, you learn the Chinese language, and one of your goals or dreams is to come to China and visit, which makes me very proud and very happy that I can share all these with you. And as you are learning Chinese, and you've been learning it for quite a long time, I was wondering, are you familiar with the Chinese zodiac?
I am a little bit out of curiosity. Every year I try to keep updated about what specific year we're in or which year I was born. I'm in the year of the rabbit, by the way.
Oh, you're a rabbit.
Yeah, yes.
Lovely. I'm a snake.
A snake, really?
In a good way. In a Chinese good way. I'm not sneaky or dark. I'm just smart and quick. That's my understanding. Hopefully, I am just smart and quick.
Yes, you totally are. So Chinese zodiac, it's something I'm really interested about just out of curiosity. I haven't studied it in a very serious or scholar way, but I find it so fascinating also comparing it to our Western zodiac. And I try to keep updated on my family members, which specific year they were born in. And it really depicts how the person is. It's incredible.
So do you know what year is this year or actually the coming year?
The dragon, isn't it?
Yes. And the funny thing about the year of Long is that we translate dragon or we translate Long to dragon, but it's actually different from the image or the understanding of dragon in the Western perception, because when it comes to Long in Chinese people's idea, well, first of all, both animals are mystical animals. They do not really exist in the world. So their appearance, their creatureality, and their characters, their connotations are in people's imagination. And the funny thing is that the Long in the Chinese concept, in Chinese people's mind, and according to Chinese people's understanding, Long is such a majestic animal. It's mystical, but it's the representation of, for example, the royal family. The emperor himself is considered a zhèn tianzi, a real Long emperor. That's a huge praise. And also Long, they're majestic, they're generous, they are very elegant, and they have a lot of fortune by inheritance. So they're this really positive icon. And sometimes we would address ourselves as Chinese. We would say we are the offsprings of Long because Long carries all the great characters. Of course, you'd like to be the offsprings of such a great mystical animal, mystical creature. So that's our understanding of Long. Yet, I know in the Western world, dragons are considered a little bit evil, isn't it?
Yes, well, they don't really exist in such a way. They more exist in, I would say, cinema or even books. It's still a mystical creature. It's something we respect a lot. There's respect towards dragon, but sometimes they're mostly evil or there are no good dragons. But at the same time, it's an evil. It's a different evil. But yeah, we don't have it in the same way, which is a pity because I'm a fan of dragons and Long as well. They're so fascinating, and also in the Chinese culture, they're such a sign of good fortune. fortune. This is going to be a good year because of this, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, totally. It's totally a praise if you say someone is as majestic or strong or brave as a long, or if someone is born in the year of long, they would be considered. Definitely, it's a very lucky, a very good zodiac. Well, in my opinion, all the zodiacs are good, but sometimes people believe there are better ones, and long is definitely among the better ones, which is why sometimes I would translate long to Chinese dragon or just refer to it as long. I think it's for the clarity of what it actually is. So, yeah, that's the idea. And we are welcoming this great year, this year of Long. And for our dear listeners, I think it's a great chance for you to embrace the Chinese culture as well as its language a little bit. So if you're interested in all these and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. 新年好，我们来给您拜年了。
新年好，快请进。
您墙上这幅字写得龙飞凤舞，挂在这里有一种画龙点睛之妙。
知音啊，这是专门请朋友设计的。
您的朋友圈真是藏龙卧虎。新年好，我们来给您拜年了。
新年好，快请进。
您墙上这幅字写得龙飞凤舞，挂在这里有一种画龙点睛之妙。
知音啊，这是专门请朋友设计的。
您的朋友圈真是藏龙卧虎。Relatively a complicated conversation because it contains a lot of long-related Chinese idioms.
Exactly. I think it's a bit more complicated than usual, but at the same time, we will get a chance to really dig into the long idioms and break them through.
Totally, because for this one, actually, I feel like the difficulties mainly concentrate on the idioms instead of the sentence structure or other words. So we'll be fine. Let's start with the first sentence, an easy one. 新年好，我们来给您拜年了。
新年好，我们来给您拜年了。Happy New Year! We're here to extend our greetings for the new year to you.
Great. So, 新年好。
新年好, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Literally, it's 新 is new, 年 is year. So New Year, 好, good. It's the same logic as 您好, 你好, hello to you. So good year. Great to have this new year. 我们
we.
来
we came.
给
to give, to extend.
Or simply to. So it's kind of like suggesting the direction of the action. 您
to you in a formal way.
Yes, so a respectful way of saying you. 拜年
bàinián, to extend greetings, and in this case for the new year.
Yes, perfect. Extend New Year greetings.
Perfect. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is bài only used in the context of the new year, or can it be for some other occasion? For example, an anniversary, birthdays, or bài shèngzhì?
You cannot really say bài shèngzhì, to be honest. But I understand where you're from. And actually, bài carries the meaning of pay a respectful visit. And it's not a literal visit. It's not like you have to go visit someone in their home as a visit. Because 拜年, for example, it's like you can 给 someone 拜年 via a phone. So if you pick up your phone and call your friend and say, 哎呦，你好，你好，好久不见，哎， 打电话给你拜个年. See, you're saying, hello, haven't seen you for a long time, and I'm calling you to extend my New Year greetings. So in the term 拜年, it is actually already a word that you should use directly. Whereas the 拜 itself, the character itself, carries the meaning of pay someone a respectful visit. For example, 拜会. So 拜会, 会 is to meet, and 拜会 is like I'll go visit you and we will meet, and it is relatively official or respectful. So that's 拜. But always remember to use it in a word that you've heard a Chinese person that have used. So
yes.
don't come up with your own 拜related words.
Yeah, I could totally get it.
Okay, so that's 拜年. And we have le putting at the end of the sentence to suggest that the action is finished. 新年好，快请进.
新年好，快请进. So, Happy New Year. Please come inside.
Perfect. 新年好, we know it's Happy New Year. See, you reply Happy New Year with Happy New Year. 快.
快, is it quickly or please in this case? Yes,
quickly. It is quickly. 请进.
Please enter, come inside.
Yeah, why would this person say quickly come inside? Is it because it's really cold and he wants to close the door?
Or maybe it's like, come, I can't wait for you to come inside, actually.
See, it's hard to deceive you now. It's right. You are totally right. I was kidding by saying 快 is due to the coldness of the weather. Yes, precisely. When Chinese people try to show their warmth, try to show their warm welcome, they would suggest you to do something quickly. It's like, I cannot wait for this to happen. So yes, totally that. And then
the country, it would be weird. Please go outside of my house.
Sometimes, for example, we would also say 快别这么说. So 别这么说 is don't say it like this. So if you say, thank you very much, you saved my life. I cannot believe how big a favor you've done to me. And then you say 快别这么说. 我非常高兴可以帮你. Please don't say that. I'm very glad to help you. So that 快 does not suggest the speed. It's more like, oh, come on, don't say that. Or come on, I cannot wait for you to come in. So it's kind of like suggesting a tone and an attitude instead of the actual speed.
Yeah.
And then, 您墙上这幅字写得龙飞凤舞，挂在这里有一种画龙点睛之妙。
您墙上这幅字写得龙飞凤舞，挂在这里有一种画龙点睛之妙。Okay. So, the calligraphy on your wall is at the same time striking and graceful. Hanging it there is the crowning touch that lights up your room.
That's a beautiful translation, and that's the thing about Chinese idioms. Sometimes they convey a lot of meanings with only 4 characters because there are sometimes a story behind it, there are sometimes allusion. So it's quite, I know it makes learning the language a little bit complicated, but it really makes it also at the same time very beautiful. So let's take a look at the sentence word by word. 您
you in a formal way.
Yes, 墙上
On the wall.
On the wall, precisely. 这
This.
幅
Is it calligraphy?
幅 is actually a measure word.
Oh, okay.
So it's a picture, 一幅画. It can be 一幅字. So basically a paper, a piece of paper of something. So you would have a piece of paper, it has pictures on it, sometimes it has calligraphy on it. So that's the measure word for a piece of paper of something.
So it's very specific.
Yes. 字.
字, it's calligraphy.
Or character. Actually, in itself, it's character. But if we're talking about a certain character that's handwritten, it's very beautiful, definitely. It's calligraphy, Chinese calligraphy. 写的.
写的, written.
Written. 龙飞凤舞.
So it's lively and vigorous. This is one of the idioms containing long.
Yes, actually, 龙飞凤舞. You can, if you take it literally, word by word, 龙 we know is the Chinese dragon, the 龙. 飞 is flying. 凤 is phoenix. And 舞 is 舞蹈, dance. So basically, this idiom depicts the idea that the dragons, the longs, are flying in the sky and stretching all its limbs, and the phoenix is also dancing beside the long, and they are interacting, they are even performing, and it's supposed to be a very lively, a very magnificent kind of view. And also everything is very smooth, very graceful, very greatly stretched. So it's soothing and it's beautiful, and it is used to describe calligraphy.
This is so poetic, and I would love my calligraphy to be described like lóngfēi fèngwǔ, but that's totally not the case. I'm trying to.
No worries, you will get there. And we've talked about long being a very strong and self-confident kind of animal. Feng is with the same or similar connotation. It's just that feng or phoenix in the Chinese culture is relatively more towards the feminine side. So 龙飞凤舞, longs soaring and phoenix dancing, and they're all, demonstrating the most beautiful gesture that they can give. And when you write like this, it must mean all the strikes are very smooth and very enthusiastic, and it looks great. So this word is definitely used to describe the calligraphies a lot.
It's so poetic, and it gives such a good image of how the calligraphy is like, and I would love actually to see this calligraphy.
Me too, I agree. And then we have 挂.
挂 is to hang, literally.
在.
在 to be in, so hanged in.
Or at, yes. 这里.
Yes. There.
Here.
Yes, here, sorry.
这里 is here, 那里 is there. But I understand the confusion, and just remember 这里 here. 有一种.
有, so there is one, and 种 is a measure word.
画龙点睛.
画龙点睛 is again an idiom about long, and is to add the final touch.
I feel like add the finishing touch by drawing the eyes on the long would be the literal translation. But I have to say it's much more than that, because there is a lovely story behind it. The story is about an artist who painted magnificent longs but left out their eyes. And people asked him, how come your longs don't have eyes? It looks, something's missing. And he said, if I add their eyes, it would bring the creatures to life. Nobody believes him, of course, and they insisted him paint the eyes. But it turned out as soon as the artist added the eyes, the longs were brought to life and soaring and flied away. So that is the whole story behind this idiom. It means that something, adding the crucial part of something, makes the whole difference, the difference of life and death. So 画龙点睛 is definitely used to describe the situation where you only add the finishing touch, you only did a little bit something, made a little bit of change, yet the real change brought to the piece, to the work is great.
This is, again, so poetic, and at the same time it makes so much sense, especially in art, to take your time, to add those little final touches that really change everything. And it's such a great story too.
Thank you. I think it's a good story as well. And then we have 知音啊，这是专门请朋友设计的。
Zhīyīn, 这是专门请朋友设计的. So, great minds think alike. I agree with you. I had a friend who specifically designed it for me.
And 知音?
知音 is, this is a new word for me. So to be very similar, a soulmate and very good friends. So to think in the same way in this case.
Actually, there is a story behind that word as well. But to understand it first, you need to understand both characters. The first character, 知 means 知道. 知道 would be know something. And 音, 音乐, music. So actually, it's suggesting that you know my music. And the story is about two ancient people in Chinese history. They met each other. So one of them is kind of like the scholar or someone who's with a relatively higher social status. And he is really good at playing the Chinese qǐng. And one day he met this one who's basically a manual labor work.
And he started to play. And when he was thinking about great mountains and just play freely, freestyle, the other person would understand, would say, listening to this music brings a mountain right in front of my eyes. And when he is playing the music with a flowing river in his heart, the stranger would be able to see the river as well. So the idea is that they understand each other in a deeper way and they connect like no one else would. So they are soulmates. And 知音 is you understand my music. You are my soulmate. I think 知音 is nowadays how people address soulmates. It's really an everyday word already, but explaining the story behind it reminds me of how beautiful it is.
It's so poetic. It's so beautiful. So yeah, it carries this meaning of not only you truly understand me, but almost you can read into my soul. Yeah, it really depicts not just agreeing with you, but something way more.
Yeah, and that is why here, 知音 it says, you get it. I put so much heart in designing the room, in finding out the exact piece I want and put it at the right place in the room. And you notice I'm so moved. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's great. I would be very moved as well.
And then 这是
This is
专门
German specifically.
Actually, 专 carries the meaning of specific as well. So sometimes we say 专业. So 业 we know it's a profession or an industry, and 专 because it's specific. So if you say someone is very 专业, you're saying they're very professional. So they know that specific areas very much. And 请
To ask for,
politely to invite, 朋友
a friend.
设计
shèjì, to design, to build.
Yes. And 的 translates the 请朋友设计 into a noun. So we want to say 这是 something, and the 的 basically translates the former adjectives into this noun that we need in the sentence. And then we have 您的朋友圈真是藏龙卧虎.
您的朋友圈真是藏龙卧虎. So your circle of friends is truly a circle of hidden talents, which is true.
And then we have 您.
您, you.
您的.
您的 your.
Yes. 朋友圈.
朋友圈, your circle of friends, your inner circle.
Yes. 真是.
Really is.
藏龙卧虎.
藏龙卧虎, so undiscovered talents, something that lies beneath. And yes, I would translate it like this.
It's perfect. Actually, there is a very famous Chinese movie, 卧虎藏龙, Crouching Tigers and Hidden Dragons. That's the English translation of it. And actually, you can change the orders of the first two characters and the second two characters. It happens sometimes. And here, 藏龙卧虎, 卧虎藏龙, both are fine. And 藏 is hidden. Long is the Chinese long, the Chinese dragon. 卧 is crouching, 虎 is tiger. So if the Chinese dragons, the longs are hidden somewhere and the tigers are crouching so you do not notice them, it must mean hidden talent.
This is a very, very good way of saying it. Of something that it's not apparent at the very beginning, but it becomes apparent after.
Yes. So that's the conversation. After explanation, I believe it does not seem so hard anymore.
Not so much. I was scared at first, but now it's completely clear.
Great. Then let's have a try reading the dialogue. 新年好，我们来给您拜年了。
新年好，快庆祝！
您墙上这幅字写得龙飞凤舞，挂在这里有一种画龙点睛之妙。
Zhīyīn，这是专门请朋友设计的。
您的朋友圈真是藏龙卧虎。You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Li, and Georgia. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's talk about more fun idioms with the Chinese character long. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Li, joined by Georgia. So Georgia, I was wondering, have you encountered any other Chinese idioms with the character long in it?
I actually haven't. This is the first time for me reading Chinese idioms. I am aware of some Chinese idioms by studying them also, but never with loong. So it's completely new, but at the same time so fascinating because it carries this very deep meaning in every idiom actually.
Okay, so I'll give you some Chinese idioms and explain each and every character, and you can take a guess what it means putting together. So the first one I'm going to give is 生龙活虎. 生 is 生动 or 生机勃勃. It's very lively. 龙 is the long, the Chinese dragon. 活, well, 活 is literally very lively, and 虎 is tiger. So vibrant as a long and lively as a tiger. Can you imagine the meaning of it?
Yes, I would use it to describe him be a person which is really full of vitality as a dragon and as a loong at the same time. So a very full of energy, but in a very good way. So that carries also other people and an energy that is contagious almost.
Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what it means. 生龙活虎. Very energetic and very lively. Okay, let's try the other one. Oh, I can think of this one. 望子成龙. 望希望, so hope. 子孩子 kid. 成 is become and 龙 is long. 望子成龙. What does that mean?
Well, I would say hoping almost that your kid would become as successful and as bright as a loong.
Yes, precisely. And I think that idiom is also a case in point when we talk about the Chinese loong carries really different connotation, different ideas, different types of feeling or meaning compared to dragons in Western people's imagination and perceptions, because 望子成龙, if you would hope your kid to become someone, you would use the word 望子成龙. I hope them to become a long, to become someone who's really, really successful, someone who is as, with all the positive characters as a long. So again, 望子成龙.
望子成龙.
So have really high expectations of precisely one's child.
Does it carry also a bit of a burden for the child to succeed? This is expectation, or it's just something very positive and just to hope for your child to be someone which is going to be great?
I think the word itself actually can be used in both scenarios. You can say 他的妈妈望子成龙，所以给他报了各种辅导班. So basically, his mother, hoping for her son to become successful, enrolled him in various coaching classes. And you can say that, but you can also say, 他对他太严格了，但也是因为他望子成龙. So she is really, really strict with her son, but that's only because she wishes the very best. So relatively speaking, I would say this is still a positive idiom. It's just burden is kind of like a hidden excuse or a hidden meaning of it.
Okay, so it carries also having great expectation, but at the same time doing something to achieve this.
Yes, and that's 望子成龙. And we have another idiom with the character 凤 in it as well. So 龙凤呈祥. Long we know is long. 凤 is the phoenix we talked about. 呈 is to present. And 祥, 吉祥 or 祥瑞 means good luck. 龙凤呈祥. What does it mean?
I would say since there's a phoenix and good luck as a more of a symbol of good fortune and overall and having more peace and something very for the world, a very good fortune symbol. Is it correct?
It is totally correct. So 龙凤呈祥 basically is the symbol of harmony and good fortune. And I feel like it's the highest level of good luck I can think of. And to be honest, there are more idioms, sayings, phrases with the Chinese character long in it, but I do not want to have our dear listeners as well as Georgia overload with information. So I guess this is it for this episode, but definitely in the future we'll have more episodes talking about long, the great animal for the coming year, the great zodiac for the coming year. So make sure you stay with us.
And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Georgia joining on the line. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also listen to the show and read the script there. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. Don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and ratings. 感谢收听，我们下次再见。
Thank you so much. 再见. It was so interesting.